Hello, veterans, DKV employees, everybody watching. Welcome back to Veteran Lang. Here we are. I'm so excited. Let's do another video. Getting the education out there is one thing that I enjoy the most because I ultimately do care about the veterans' claims. I care about the mission the VA has, and I really want to make this process smoother. I don't see a reason why we got to make it so hard that it feels like fighting a whole nother war just for veterans to get what they deserve. So, as your friendly VA accredited attorney, Matthew Lang, here with the years of experience in the VA, the experience I have now for about 5 years outside the VA, making a difference and helping veterans, veteran myself. Let's take that knowledge along with all your knowledge out there, both veterans and VA, and let's bring it all together so we can educate to make the process smoother. For today's topic, let's talk about when missing a VA exam should not automatically kill or harm a veteran's claim. This is an interesting topic for me because working on the inside of the VA, I understand how the training was done incorrectly for a number of years, and sounds like even way more so today. From, again, the bad and ugly that I see from the VA. I remember times, and there's definitely some provision that may kind of apply to this, but the VA exam is usually taught as a tool to automatically deny a claim if there was a no-show issue in many cases. And I feel that that's a misinterpretation of the rules and laws and really a bad tool and way of just trying to deny veterans. So let's see if we can break this down a little bit and understand why VA you should not be denying automatically every time or automatically at all when a VA examination may not have been attended by the veteran. So that's the question. What happens if the VA schedules you veterans for a compensation pension exam, a VA exam, but you do not attend? Well, many veterans are told that VA can simply deny the claim, but that's not always legally correct. As your friendly VA accredited attorney, Matthew Lang here, I'm gonna try to set that record straight. So before scheduling an exam, VA must determine that the examination is actually necessary. Actually necessary under 38 U.S.C. 5103A and 38 CFR 3.159. An examination is generally necessary in a service-connected claim when 4 conditions exist. First, there is evidence of a current disability or persistent symptoms. Second, there is evidence of an event, injury, or disease during service. Third, there is some indication that the current condition may be related to service. And fourth, most importantly of all, VA, the existing medical evidence is insufficient to decide the claim. So, why is that fourth requirement so important? Well, let me tell you. An examination is not supposed to be ordered automatically. Under 38 CFR 3.326, adequate private medical records, medical reports, and physician statements may be accepted without another VA examination. This is also explained by VA's own M21-1 manual, which also instructs adjudicators to review the available evidence before deciding that an examination is necessary. If the record already contains enough medical evidence to decide the claim or assign the correct evaluation, VA should not routinely request another examination. So this problem occurs when VA unnecessarily schedules an exam. The veteran does not attend, and VA then denies the claim solely because of that missed appointment. Well, under 38 CFR 3.655, the consequences for missing an examination apply only when entitlement cannot be established or confirmed without that examination. And the courts have also stated this more than once. The court has also explained that VA must address 2 questions. Was the examination necessary? Was the examination necessary? And did the veteran lack good cause for missing it? VA should not skip the first question, which we see them do all the time. We will see denials back here where veterans will not show up to VA examinations, and sometimes even on my own guidance to not do so because they are not necessary examinations, and the VA will just automatically deny for no show and stated no good cause. Well, your good cause is that the exam was not necessary. So let's get into the idea that the type of claim also matters. So if the exam is concerning an original compensation claim, for example, VA must decide the claim using the evidence already in the record. So the regulation does not authorize an automatic denial. So picture this, veterans. You have provided a DBQ and a fully adequate, drawn out, maybe even 20-page nexus. I don't know. Could be even 5 pages. Guarantee you it's much better than likely than a VA one. But you provide all this evidence. You provide all the in-service stuff, or maybe all the in-service stuff is there, even in your service medical records or treatment records. The point is that even though you file an original claim, you don't necessarily have to go to a VA exam as long as all of the information is there to adequately decide that claim. It's already of evidence. At this point, the regulation would not authorize VA to just automatically schedule an exam because it's not needed. Now, there may be different consequences that may apply to, say, a supplemental claim. Another type of original claim, or even a claim for an increased rating, those claims may be denied when a necessary exam is missed without good cause. Now, there may be times veterans, sure, the exam is properly requested, say, especially in a lot of times in an increase, the exam is going to be needed to determine the evaluation. You got to remember the law and the medical sides don't talk to each other very well or cleanly many times. So that VA exam is designed to, well, supposed to be anyways, designed to talk to the law side of it more than the medical side of it. And a lot of times what the law side is requiring, your private physicians or just the common medical practice world, for what I've seen, it doesn't answer those questions. So that exam may be necessary, again, unless the evidence already answers those questions. So keep in mind, the claim type could also matter. So there could be different consequences on those. So let's say veterans, you should have attended that exam and you didn't attend that exam. Now good cause is what you got to show. Now good cause could include things like illness, hospitalization, and I've seen that. Oh, that was fun. Let me go on a side road really quick here. I don't know how many times when working in the VA, we would find that somebody would deny the veteran the benefit sought for not failing to show, or for failing to show to an exam. So what we would see was a denial for failure to show to an exam. Say it was an increase. We couldn't give you the increase because we didn't have the evidence in record and the exam was needed and veteran, you didn't show for the exam. And then it'll say, veteran, you didn't show good cause. And it was always poorly amusing to me that the good cause was the fact the veteran was hospitalized in a VA facility. They had record of that, but they would still deny instead of, anyways, you get my point. Let's get back on track. So good causes may include illnesses, hospitalization, maybe a death of a family member, or other circumstances that reasonably prevent attendance. Now, living in a larger city, one accident can shut down an entire freeway around here. I would say that's a good cause. If you can't make it to the exam on time, we even find that a lot of these contract examiners, if not all of them, will just immediately 1 minute past due the time frame, just go ahead and kick that request back to the VA and call it a no-show without taking consideration traffic issues, construction that may just pop up overnight around here. Again, accidents that shut down roads and make it more difficult to be on time, even if you did leave an hour early from your home. So veterans should generally not ignore a scheduled exam. So keep that in mind, veterans. We've talked about that before in a video as well. But VA also cannot use an unnecessary examination as a shortcut to avoid considering competent and otherwise sufficient evidence already of the record. And we see in a lot of decisions back here, multiple things that demonstrate that VA seems to be trained not to look at evidence. And that's the impression I'm getting from a professional standpoint. Whether true or not, I have not confirmed that. But I just want to let you know what that perception looks like. VA, just because you see the veteran did not show, don't just automatically deny. You've got to read the evidence. Ask yourself, was that exam necessary? Perhaps you ran into something else I've seen before. Maybe somebody was scheduling an exam just so they can hurry up and get their production points for the day and move the file. Who knows? Make sure it was appropriate. Don't ignore the evidence. Now, veterans, if VA denies your claim because you failed to report for an exam, review that decision carefully, or try to, because we know there's issues there too. But review it carefully. Ask whether VA explained why the examination was necessary, which I'm going to tell you they usually never do. Whether it considered the evidence already submitted, and that's more than conclusionary statements are necessary for that, even though they're trained to give just conclusionary statements, and whether it addressed good cause. We've even had veterans where we have even sent in the good cause for the veterans, and the veterans have also contacted the VA, and it's all on the record, and no one read it. And ultimately, the decision doesn't even talk about the good cause statements that were in the record, and they just deny. Again, read the evidence. And hey, veterans, also consider whether it applied the correct rule for your particular type of claim. Maybe the best way to do that is to reach out to a representative, a VSO, or accredited agent or accredited attorney like myself. But do remember, I've said it multiple times, and I did a whole video about it, you are able to go to this alone. So if you feel comfortable doing that and you understand the rules enough to correctly check the rules and see if the exam was even necessary, maybe you can argue that back. But if you're looking for representation, or maybe you're looking for some additional assistance, like I said, there's VSOs, there's accredited agents, and other accredited attorneys out there like myself. And if you're looking for help from us, or maybe talk to us about your claim and see if we can help, veteranlang.com is your website there to get to my calendar and schedule some time. You may run across langslegal.com as well, which is our more state-focused for Arizona, New Mexico website, but it is linked to Veteran Lang, and the calendars both come to the same calendar. So if you land on that one works too. So the ultimate point for this video, just to keep it a lot shorter than some of the most, is the idea to the VA, because we see it all the time. VA, don't schedule exams that aren't necessary. You're wasting your time, you're wasting the veteran's time, and you're wasting tax dollars. OIG, I know, have made multiple reports about exams being improperly scheduled and the money that's wasted. If the exam was necessary, truly, don't forget to look back and see if there was good cause actually in the file before you deny and not state any reasons of good cause. And veterans, hey, if you do have a VA exam scheduled, try to understand if it's necessary for you to show up or just go ahead and show up to it. Likely is what you may want to do. But I'm not here to tell you what to do in your claim, because this is educational. And so if you do have a representative, talk with them. Let them guide you with their strategy that they feel is appropriate based on the facts of your claim. But in short, VA, read the evidence. Don't just deny for a no-show on a VA exam, because your guidance in your manual and the laws tell you that's usually the wrong path. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me here again today at Veteran Lang. I look forward to all of our other videos. Remember, we're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays now. We got plenty of topics out here, plenty of things to talk about. So I want to give you more, as much as I can, to get this information out there. Feel free to always throw in the comments. Talk amongst yourself as well. Help each other out. Educate each other. Because again, education relies a lot on us all coming together and learning from each other. All right. Have a tremendous, terrific day.